Good morning, everyone, wherever you are. Brilliant to have you along with us here on Crafters TV this lovely Sunday. Don't lose a day, Corrine. It's Sunday morning. It was a bit miserable when I first got up, but it's looking better, and I hope it's nice where you are as well, wherever you are. Now, it's Sunday, so what we're going to do, we're going to have a look first today at this brilliant, look at the size of this collection. This is our Say It With Flowers collection, and this is what our first show today is all about. But if I'm stood over here, then that means I'm not demonstrating. It's the lovely Jan. She's back. Jan's back. We're just saying she's done a few weekends. We've got a few more. She's back with me next Saturday as well. Lovely Jan. She's going to tell you all about the Say It With Flowers today, aren't you?
I am, yes. And it's great to be back because I know last time I was here, I was a bit poorly. And I had lots of message from you lovely viewers, if you're out there watching, just to make sure that I was okay, because I did end up actually leaving during the day. And we had the team step in. We had Lily step in and Craig step in. And, you know, brilliant to know that we can rely on those. But yes, I'm all good. I'm all fit. fitting well, and I'm raring to go. And honestly, to come back with this collection, it is absolutely stunning. And obviously here in the UK, we've got Mother's Day coming up this month. I know it's slightly different over in the US, but I just think it's a perfect collection for that particular occasion, along with many, many others as well. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing you some demos just to give you an idea on how to use some of the pieces. So yeah, stay with us.
Brilliant, brilliant. So, as you see, it's myself and Jan. We've got George on, he's doing everything in their gallery today. He's all on his lonesome, but don't feel sorry for him. I've been in the gallery. He's got the heating cranked up. He is so cosy and snug in there. It's okay. It's a good job there's not another body in there creating any more heat, but it's lovely. And then we've got Jake running around getting everything that we need for us. And then Nicola's going to come in a bit later. But on the socials today is our Chloe, so she's going to send all your messages to me, and there's already quite a lot of you here already this morning. We've got Georgianne Curley saying hi, Corrine and Jan from Clearwater, Florida. Good morning. Sarah Brown saying hello, my crafty friends. Good day to you all. Hoping that everyone is doing well. Sending hugs your way from Melbourne, Australia. Well, good morning or good evening for you, Sarah. Marcella says good morning. Lois, oh, she was on yesterday. Good morning, everyone from Ohio. Deborah Stone says good morning, all from New York. Kirsty, good morning, everyone. Christine Mahoney, good morning, Christine. I hope you're not doing any painting today, so you can concentrate on what we're showing you. Zoe Carver says good morning, everyone from West Sussex. Miriam says hello, all from Germany. And All Things Wonderful says lovely to see Corrine and Jan. Looking forward to the shows today. Well, we are looking forward to the shows as well. But look at this. It is vast. It is a huge collection. Now I'm going to pick up all my boards so that we can show you what we've got, and we're going to go through this collection. Now it doesn't matter what part of paper crafting you like, I am sure you will find something in here that, you know, answers your needs. So yeah, it's absolutely perfect collection. So this is the Say It With Flowers collection. Now I'm going to start on the top row up here, and we've got our paper pads. We've got our 12 by 12 paper pads, and Jan will show you these in a minute. We've got linen cardstock, and we've got foam, and we have got crate paper. So those are your brilliant consumables that you're going to find in this collection. Then if we pop down to the next row, you're going to see on that row there is also vellum as well. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But then the dies that you're going to get is you're going to get this beautiful Happy Birthday, which is a 2-layer die, so it's going to be able to create the matte and the detail. Am I allowed favourites? I think this one might be one of my favourites. It's the Statement Floral Bouquet. It's an edgeable, but it's an edgeable and a half. Isn't that beautiful? Think of all the paper piecing you could be doing with that. We've then got our embossing folder, 3D embossing folder. Absolutely beautiful. Means you're going to get all of the layers, but then on top of that you're also going to get the stencils that allow you, oh, it's there, to colour it absolutely beautifully. Now to work with the crepe paper, we're going to give you templates to make carnations out of the crepe paper, but you can use these out of any paper that you want. You've got the peony, you've got, oops, pick it up, you've got the dahlia, and you've also got the rose as well. But think of these, you're going to be able to use them on your foam as well as your papers as well. You've then got your Fabulous Friends stamps. Look at all those stamps. Loads of stamps there, really, really usable. And you've got your Timeless Elegance frame. That could be work landscape as well as portrait. So that is beautiful. And then you've got dies that we've designed initially to go with your foam, but I'm sure you can use other mediums as well. You can use your papers and everything you want to do. So you've got your chrysanthemums, you've got your peony, beautiful peony, and also your rose. We've got another frame again. Now this is your Floral Splendor. Isn't that beautiful? I think that one to me wants to go that way around. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Now I've used this so much, it's the Intricate Arc. It's a 2-layer die, but look at all those details. Pop 2 of those together and you get a lovely doily. You've got the Classic Baroque frame. Again, it's going to work landscape as well as portrait. We've got a couple more sentiments. You've got your dearest friend, and you've got your just for you. And then you've got this, which is stunning. It is the Pretty Peonies. Now, it's a stamp with sentiments and then a die to cut it out as well. Then, so a couple more consumables that you've got. You've got your gems and you've got your ribbons. 3 colours, 3 sizes, a metre of each in total. And then you've also got your 6x6 paper pad. So it is a huge, huge collection. Now Jan is going to show you how to use it.
Right, so, all those goodies, it was like, where do you start? So the first thing I do is have a look through the collection and then choose what I'm going to work with. So on this occasion, I've gone with the 12-inch paper pad and some of the linen cardstock as my mats and layers. I'll give a quick flick through this in a second. And then I had a little look through the rest of the elements, and I've gone for the happy birthday sentiment there. Like Corrine said, there's the matte and then the sentiment layer. I've gone for that lovely Baroque frame. And then I'm going to use a sentiment out of the sentiment set. And then I'm also going to use one of the flower dies. This is the Delightful Rose, and I'll talk to you about that when we get to the embellishment side of it. So I'm just going to pop those to one side. I'm just going to give you a quick flick through the paper pad. Again, double-sided paper, absolutely beautiful designs. And I love this one. I chose this as my floral print, but I wanted to pick out the pink and the lilac. So I actually picked the lilac linen card as my matting and layering. And then I went through to some of the other designs and I was looking for a pink. So I stopped when I got to this one. And I'm going to use the reverse side of this one in conjunction with that floral pattern so that we've got a nice contrast. And then, like Corrine mentioned, we've got the 6x6 pad, which is obviously those designs shrunk down for use on a smaller design. So what I'm going to do then, the only things I've added to this is some white all-purpose card and also just some little bits out of my own stash, sort of embellishment-wise. So this was actually cut from a piece of the A3 multi-purpose card, and I've made myself a 7-inch square card blank. And then I've cut into this. I took a little bit of inspiration from one of the design team cards with this because I just thought it was stunning. And I've actually cut into it to take the corners off. So all I did was find the centre at the bottom, the centre point here, so at 3.5 inches, and I've cut diagonally from that centre point up to the fold line in the middle here on each side, and you get these 2 pieces separate, which we're then going to swap and fit in to make that lovely arrow pointed card. Okay, so then it was a case of working out some mats and layers. So I went back to the original size, and because this was 7 inches square, I tend to come down 1/4 inch. So I cut my linen cardstock at 6 3/4 inches square and did the same exercise, found the centre and then cut it to fit. All right, and then I did exactly the same with the patterned layer. So I came down to 6.5 inches square, found the halfway mark and did the same. And I've actually popped these together ready. So we've got our outside pieces there. I've got my lovely mats and layers on that gorgeous lilac linen cardstock, and then a piece of that pattern paper at the front. And then this one's actually a slightly different paper to the other one that I did. So you can see now that these fit perfectly as a mat and layer. So let's get those stuck down and then we'll do a little bit of die cutting. So all I've done is added some glue to get the paper onto that linen card, and then I'm just going to add my double-sided tape and pop these on. And there's just a little white border, not a lot, just a little bit all the way around there with the way that those are cut. And then I'm going to do the same on these ones. So again, just remember to flick that tape pen and break that adhesive on there. And then we're going to line this one. I'm going to use the right angle to line it up with here. Just a tiny little white border all the way round. That's all I'm looking for. There we go. And then the same on this side again. If you want to use a wet glue for this purpose, I would recommend the all-purpose. For sticking cardstock and paper together, absolutely perfect. So again, just lining up that bottom corner, and then I know that the rest of it will fit on there beautifully. And then what we're going to do is we've got them here like so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my grid on the glass mat just as a bit of a guide, and I'm looking again now for about the halfway point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 of the squares on the grid, so 1, 2, 3.5. So I'm going to pop this point around about that halfway mark, and then I want this one to be level with the edge of the outside of the card. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my finger about here, because I only need to put glue on that top section here. We don't need any on the underneath bit. Okay, so again, pop it on here. Look at that, 1, 2, 3.5. So this one's going to go about here. That one's going to go level with the outside, and then I can get that one stuck down. So I didn't need any glue under the bottom half, because that's going to be part of the actual card itself. And then we're going to do the same with the other side. So again, I'm just going to position it roughly about there, put my glue on the top section of those triangles, and then again 1, 2, 3.5. So this one about here, bring this one in till it reaches the edge of the card, and then stick it down. So you can see now that we've actually got the front of our card already designed, and it stands up beautifully on the points there. If I turn it round, we can have a little look from the front there. And then we need to think about how we're going to decorate. So what I've done is I've continued with that same theme, but to have the green pattern paper underneath there, it was a little bit busy, which is why I chose the plain one. So I've actually gone with just a simple matte and layer in the pink to go inside and frame that one and bring out some of the pinks in that patterned paper. So we'll get that one stuck in next, and then we're going to bring in some of those metal elements to do some die cutting and do some decoration on the front and the inside. I like to decorate the inside of the cards as well. So that one's going to go inside, again just leaving that little tiny border all the way around. Okay, and that's my sort of card base at the ready to decorate. So I'm going to pop that to one side, and then I'm going to bring back in the metal work. So we're going to cut the happy birthday section next. So I've got my plates at the ready. If I take this out of here, you've actually got that lovely outside piece, which is going to create you a nice matte layer, and I'm going to keep that on the white card for my background layer. So I just want to pop that one on a scrap of white, stick it down so it doesn't move. And then the inside piece is that gorgeous decoration. So this has got the happy birthday written in there, and I'm going to go with the purple for this one. Okay, so again, pop that one in. And then I've just brought a little scrap of some silver mirror card. I always save my mirror card and my glitter card scraps. And we're actually going to recut this one, and I want to snip the lettering out of the centre. So I'm going to pass these two through first. Got my plates at the ready there. They should both fit in there nicely. And I've just got my junior plates there that we're going to pass through the large Gemini. And then I'm going to pass that happy birthday one through again using that mirror card, and we're going to snip into that one just to add a little bit of a highlight. So I've got my layer now that we can use as the base. Then we've got the wording there. I'll take that one away and that one away. So if we just pop that one out, just the little holes around the edge of the die are usually a little release hole. So you can just literally take this away. Just be gentle, because it's got a lot of filigree work. And like I've said many times, I do prefer to take the cardstock away from the die. Okay, and you can see when we lay this one on top now, you've got that beautiful design that's all sized perfectly. And then you've actually got the opportunity here, because these letters have like an open work to them, you could add colour into here. You could sit and paper piece that little bit of wording if you want to. What I'm actually going to do, as I say, is just pop it through again, I just need to pop those bits out quickly, and we're going to cut this in the silver, and I just want to highlight the actual wording with that silver mirror card so that it stands out a little bit more on my card. So again, just a quick, if you've got your die brush handy, you can use that, but just to clean that out really quickly. And then we're going to pop it onto. Now, the card's not quite big enough, but I only want it to cover the wording in the centre. So I'm going to get rid of all the bits, make sure there's none of those left on your plate. Flip it over, and as long as the cardstock covers that lettering, I'm not too fussed that there's a little bit of dye popping out of the edge there. So I just want the happy birthday wording, and I'm going to stick it back down so that it doesn't move, and just pop that one back through the Gemini. And then just using my little snips, I'm going to snip out that silver lettering to overshadow what we've got here. So again, we'll get rid of those, get rid of these bits. And again, I just want to take out that wording. Again, just be really gentle. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is take my little snips here. Oops. And I'm just going to very, very carefully snip around the edge of the lettering. Okay. Now I've actually got a card already done where you can see what this looks like when it's all finished. So I'm going to skip this bit because I can show you the finished sample. But you get the idea, just cutting, look at where the letters are, cut them out, and you can see, if I go across the top the same, you can see how this will just line up now over here. So do the same along the top, get that one ready. Just going to use my dotty tape pen gently on the back of this one and get this matted onto that design. And again, you've just got a nice little border all the way round, already thought out. So this is going to go on the front here, okay? And then on the inside, I've actually die cut that beautiful Baroque frame in a scrap of the lilac linen card as well. And then I added to it just one of my nesting dies and created a little centre for it as well. So when I count my blessings, I count you twice, which is one of the sentiments in the sentiment pack there. So that's used that one. So let's just pop these on. I'll do them with the tape runner. I've actually used a little bit of foam. I'll show you the finished sample in a second. That one's going to go on the front, and then I'm going to pop this one. Oops, right pen, Jan. Nearly did then. The double-sided tape's not the best one for this. We need the dots on there. That one's going to go across the centre there, in the middle-ish. We're just going to eyeball that. And then this one in the middle of here. And then the very last thing, I just wanted some added decoration for the front. And I've actually made these already, but I just wanted to explain a little bit about the delightful rose here. This has been designed to work with our flower foaming form, and we've popped some of that in the collection like Corrine mentioned. And you've got a set of dies here. You've got 4 different size flowers and a couple of leaves. Now I've actually done them, but I haven't layered them up. I quite like just having those simple little flowers. Now these can either be foam, or if you've not got the foam part of the kit, you can do them out of some scrap paper. And those are literally just going to go on as decoration underneath here. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of wet glue on there to receive those. And we're going to have 1, 2, and that was just a bit of my tacky glue that I've popped on there. Okay. So you can see where we're at. And then when it's embellished with that silver element as well, if I bring in the one that I did at home, slightly different paper there, but you can see how that silver just highlights that wording there. We've got the inside bit decorated just the same. And then if I turn you that one round, you can see there, all finished.
Wow, wasn't that absolutely beautiful? Now, with the collection, as well as making those gorgeous flowers, you could be making things like this. This is the beautiful carnation, I believe. So isn't that absolutely gorgeous? You could be using the embossing folder and then using the stencils to colour them in. You could be making 3D flowers as well with that frame, or you could just be using smaller elements and making those sentiments pop. However you want to use it, this is your Say It with Flowers collection. I mean, wow, you just can't make a bad sample with that. I mean, Jan, that was absolutely gorgeous. And you know, I love making my flowers. I've never thought to take some of those beautiful decorative and flowers and just use one layer.
Yeah.
That just blew my mind.
I like making the big sort of 3D flowers, but if you're wanting to keep it a little bit flatter,
but you know what?
The dimension, I just think.
Yeah, I know. But you've
just
got all that
gives you
pretty paper.
Yeah.
You don't need the big flower, do you?
And then I'd just pop some of the little leaves in there as well.
I know.
So, yeah,
absolutely
really simple.
Gorgeous. I think that is so, so pretty. Now, lots of you are on posting through your comments today. So we have also got Anne Fleming Myers here from Texas. We've got Val Lloyd from Southampton saying looking forward to the show. Oh, Christine is teaching, but not till 12 o'clock, which is 5 o'clock here. So unless they come earlier. So, oh, hope it goes well, Christine. We've got Deborah Stone saying this is a ginormous collection. Yes, it is, but I'm sure if you look on our website, as well as being the whole collection, we do break it down into either individual elements or little smaller collections as well. So hopefully we've got something to suit everyone. Can I just say, today is the day, because it's double points all weekend till 11:59, wherever you are in the world. You can get double points on everything you buy today. So perfect opportunity. Kate Meyer says, good morning, lovely to be able to say hi live. Well, it's brilliant to have you here live, Kate. Sweet Imp, says, hi, all around the globe. Cup of tea, anyone? Gorgeous papers, chef's kiss. Couldn't agree more. Now, Robin Prunto says, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday on this chilly morning. A snowstorm moving in CT on Monday night onto Tuesday, so I will be getting some crafting done. Please keep your snow over there, please. I don't like snow. That's all I'm saying. There we go. Michelle Harris says, what a pretty day, and she's off work for the next 2 days. Woohoo. I hope you can get some crafting done, Michelle, if that's what you want. Betty Weaver says, love when Jan is on. Sweet Imp says, I wonder, Jan, if you could do a home decor project multimedia, really girly mumsy. That would work really well, wouldn't it? Home decor with that. I mean, I've got one just there. But could you imagine putting your home decor multimedia?
Absolutely.
twist?
And I will just say, if you can tune in next weekend, I am back for a craft along next weekend where I am actually going to focus on something mumsy. So I'll leave that there. It's not this particular collection, but just showing you how you can work with things that you may already have. Yeah.
Oh, a delicious Sunday morning gift, says Diane. Crafting with our precious and clever Jan. Yay, there we go. Rachel Brown says, good morning, everyone. Bit late, I was prepping meals for later. Carolyn Wilson says, I love the card design. Christine says, very beautiful, Jan, love that card. Lovely card, says Betty. So does Lois and Deborah and Melanie and Rosalind. Basically, everyone says either beautiful card or beautiful. So that is absolutely gorgeous.
I must just add in there, Corrine, that inspiration was taken from a member of our design team. The name's sort of passing me by at the minute. But yeah, I love the idea of the design. So it is a borrowed one. So I can't take all the credit for it. And I do sort of really, you know, the design team do such a fabulous job that's literally what it's all about.
Yeah, but I love how you just listening to Jan, I'm like, I want to craft. I think, oh, well, I actually already do craft, but no, I want to craft now, so there we go. Right, now, I've already mentioned that you've got double points all day today on everything you buy. Why do you need double points? To get you to the next level for your Club Inspire. So let's find out what Club Inspire is all about.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
If you love Crafters TV, we've made it easy for you to watch us wherever you are. Whether you catch us on your tablets or take us with you on your mobile phone, it's easy to watch us anywhere. From here to here. Maybe don't watch us here. It would be easy to watch us here. Probably the easiest place to watch us is here. Crafters TV, with you wherever you are.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
The one that was really funny, Ben. You didn't.
It was better than your I'm a gnome and I live in a caravan.
I am a gnome and I live in a caravan. Can we clip that?
We'll do it. Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Well, I hope those videos make you smile as much as they do me. I'm stood here smiling and I just heard a little snigger from across the studio. So obviously Jan was giggling at them too. So yeah, absolutely, so much fun. Now we're here this morning for a masterclass all about the Say It With Flowers. It's a gorgeous collection. Yes, it is a big collection, but you can find it broken down into smaller collections if you go and have a look on our website. But it's absolutely beautiful. But it covers everything from your papers, your foams, your crate papers, your vellums, everything that you might need is covered. What a gorgeous, gorgeous collection. Now, quick question, Jan. I know you're absolutely ready to go on the next demo and I want to give you time, but Alison Lee says, sorry, I was late joining. What size was the card base just on your last demo?
It was 7 inches squared, so you can actually cut that from 2 pieces of A4 and join it. I've got the A3 multi-purpose card, so I used a full A3 sheet and cut it off the length of there. So 7 inches by 14 inches and score it down the centre.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There we go. And we've also got Brenda Blackler saying, good morning, all my crafty friends. Sorry, I am late. I have been sorting all my crafty Christmas stuff. I want to get it in one place. Well, unless you're really organised, yes, Brenda, I can imagine that's put away just for a little while. And Deborah Stone says, are there any hydrangea in this collection? I'm having extreme fondness for them lately. I don't recall seeing any. I can't even recall seeing any on the paper pads. I'm afraid I don't think so. I don't think so. But you could take those small flowers that you did, the smallest ones, and sort of make a hydrangea head out of those if you wanted to. Yeah. It's amazing how you can change flower dyes into whatever you want.
I'm just trying to think, which one's the hydrangea? Is that's the shrub, isn't it? That
It's
has
the
all
shrub.
the big flowers on.
Yeah, it has a big flower made up of lots of little flowers.
What was in the Enchanted Dreams collection.
Ah, that had hydrangea heads in
I
it,
think
didn't it?
did, didn't it?
Now
Yeah,
you
I
said
don't know
that.
what we've got left in stock, but if you have,
Yes.
if you search Sara Signatures Enchanted Dreams collection, I'm sure there was either a stamp set or some metalwork in there, and I think that was a hydrangea, if my memory serves me right.
It did, and I remember the papers definitely had hydrangeas on them.
Because they were in that, but there was the balloon, wasn't there, with the hydrangea, made the balloon at the top of the, like, little hot air balloon.
Well remembered, well remembered. There you go, Deborah. I hope that helps for you. Anyway, I'm going to pass it straight over to Jan, because I want to give her plenty of time to do her next project.
Well, we're going to use that one that you like, Corrine. We've got that gorgeous statement floral, that edgeable here this time. And last time I wanted to use lots of different elements from the collection. This time I'm just going to stick with the one die. It speaks for itself, and then I'm going to double that up again with the paper pad and the cardstock. So this time I've actually used a piece from this first page. Again, don't be afraid to cut into it.
So
and then I've teamed that up with the teal linen cardstock. Goes beautifully. Absolutely. I love the colour palette on this one. So that's the two pieces for the base. So again, this time I have got the whole length of A4 here. Well, I'm saying the whole length, I'm telling fibs, not quite the whole length. This one's actually 6, is it 6 or 5 3/4? 6.5. All right, so it's 6.5 by 6.5 across pretty much. Yes, it was the length of A4. And then I folded it. I wanted the 6.5 square on the back, which means that this bit's slightly less, but this is what we're going to cut that gorgeous edgeable into. So I'm not too worried that it didn't quite
matter at all.
fit the whole way across. So what I'm going to do is take this one out. Absolutely gorgeous. You don't need to do much else to your card when you've got something like this in the kit. So just make sure I've got that little piece out of the way there. And you've actually got a central line in this one, which starts at the top of the die. If I lay it on the card here, you can see at the top, and then extends here at the bottom of the stem. So that's the bit that I want to keep upright. And I'm going to cut this into the edge of that card. I want this to be the outline of the card. So if I open this up, and again, using the grid on the glass mat so that I can get it straight, I want a couple of bits of tape at the ready. And then I just want to make sure that this line is straight. So I'm going to go right up to the edge of the card. I'm going to pick a line on my glass mat, and then just make sure that we're coming down to the same line at the bottom. And then once you're happy with that positioning, so my card's just a wee bit longer. The die's about 6 1/4 inches. My card's about 6.5. So I'm just going to centre that in the middle and then tape it mainly onto this edge, because this is the bit that it's going to cut away. So there's no cutting edge at this side. It's just going to cut all that gorgeous detail into the card front. And then this side, as well as the detail, we're going to get this lovely shape around the outside edge. Okay, so plates at the ready. And
it's really worth using your mat, isn't it? Because you think you've got it absolutely perfectly straight. Then you look on your mat and you're half an inch or quarter of an inch out.
I mean, it's not, I suppose it's not the end of the world with something like this, but it's something that I get into the habit of doing, just using that to get things lined up. I'm a bit OCD about things being straight and stuff like that. So again, I'm going to pop that in between my normal set of cutting plates and pass that one through the Gemini. It will fit on your larger plate, obviously, but I've got the Gemini Junior plates at the ready. So if ever you're doing it like this, just remember not to put the card through the roller first. Always offer this, because you need to trigger those sensors in the Gemini there. So let me just double check and make sure that's gone all the way. Because I've got it horizontally there, I've got a little bit there that I think just needs the metal shim. So it's just worth testing it. I'm just going to pop that one on there and pop it back through against the metal, the right way up, Jan. Goodness me. Okay, so I always check first. Mine at home actually did it first time.
Machines are so different, aren't they?
They are, yeah, even though they're all built to the same spec. Some of them are a little bit more sort of...
At home, I very rarely use my magnetic shim.
Yeah.
If I use my magnetic shim, it's too much.
Too much, yeah. Mine's, and I mean, I've been using mine a long time, but just with the metal in there, yeah, we've got that. We've still got a little tiny bit there that's not passed through, but I have got this ready done, so I'll show you what I mean. So again, I'm just going to take that tape away, just nice and gently. As I say, I'm not too worried if it snags this side because that's where we're going to take the excess away, like so. And then again, I'm just going to lift it from the back and take it off gently. There's so many sort of little intricate parts that I don't want to snag. That's it, there we go. And then just take my snips, and where that line's extended here, I'm just going to take up from the bottom and free this side here. Just got a little bit there that's not quite. Bit of tape just getting in the way there, take that one off. And then again from the top there, just line it up. And if you're not hot with the scissors, pop your ruler against it and just draw yourself a little pencil mark in there just to get it into the right place. And then I know some of these haven't quite gone through, and the reason being is because I had this horizontally. If I'd have had it vertically, then you will get a better cut because there are less cutting points across than there are from top to bottom. So maybe I would have been better with my larger plates on this instance, but I have got one, as I say, that I've prepared. So let's just take out the ones that are actually freed, and you can see a lot of that detail here. It's just a little tiny bit in the centre there.
So it's not that most of it hasn't cut, it's just that it's just still in the cardstock, isn't it?
It is, yeah. As I say, it tends to be, if you've got a die that's got a lot of cutting points, and what I mean by that is that there are lots of little areas to come out in your die, then it will cut better on its narrowest form. So obviously vertically this is narrower than it is tall, and because I had it that way going through the rollers that way, the pressure obviously, and as I say, it depends on the machines. Mine at home went through beautifully on the same platform. It just depends where you're at. It's just a little tiny bit. You can see most of those are coming out. There's just a little tiny bit down that centre bit here. And I'm not going to push it because, as I say, I've got one already done. So I'm just going to leave those as they are. And you can see the idea here with this. There's a few little bits down the outside that are cut. But you can see, let me pop this against, we want something that's a nice colour so that you can see it. There we go, look. So again, you get the idea with it. Yeah, I've just got a little tiny fraction of it here, down this bit here, that's not quite gone all the way through, okay? So what I did with this then, I took the turquoise teal card out of the linen card pack, and what I've done is I've actually popped some behind because I wanted that blue to show through that beautiful die cut work. You can see, as I say, mine went through without any problem at home. And I've just fussy cut with my snips. So again, it's not that difficult. I've just fussy cut and left about 1/8 of an inch border all the way around here. And then just added some little gems in there. Use my dotty tape pen on the reverse of the die cut here to stick it onto the paper. All right, so that's actually going to be the front section of the card. And then I've created some mats and layers with the remainder of that turquoise linen card and a piece of the paper. And then I've got a piece for the front as well. So again, just with the tape pen, or if you prefer, you can use that Collal all-purpose glue for your matting and layering. We do tend to stick with the tape pens when we're demonstrating. You've got a sort of a definite stick there. If you're not so hot on getting things straight, the wet glue's great, especially the all-purpose glue, because you get that time to just wiggle it into place. So that one's going to go on the inside with that lovely work there so that we can see. And then I'm going to do the same with the strip at the front. And again, I haven't used much else in conjunction with this. I've just taken the sentiment set and just chosen a little sentiment that fit. So I've just used the die set and then the sentiment set here. Okay. And I've actually gone this time for thank you for being a true friend on here. And I've just stamped that out and matted that onto a little bit of that spare card. And this one's going to go across the front here like so. And then just the very last bit, again, delving in the stash, I've just picked out a tiny bit of ribbon to complement that design. And we're just going to pop it as if those flower stems have been tied into a bouquet there. So you can see we've got that gorgeous die doing all the work. It's almost like a creator card die, although it is on that edgeable format. And then this is all shaped on the front of the card, and then space here. Now, if you wanted to pop an element in to write on inside, you could use that frame again, or pop a nesting die in there, or alternatively, you can mat and layer on the back and pop a sentiment on the back as well to write on. So if I stand you that one up there, you can just see that it doesn't need much else on it. It's absolutely beautiful. It would lend itself to paper piecing. But yeah, beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? I mean, I just love it for its simplicity. It is stunning, absolutely so pretty. Now, a few more of you have joined us. We've got Adriana says, good morning from San Antonio, Texas. I need a tardy slip. We don't mind, as long as you're here with us eventually, that's fine. CJ Papercraft says, I've missed saying hello to majority of you crafty peeps. Hello, you got this. Yes, certainly have. Thank you, CJ Papercrafts. And Brenda Blackler, says, please produce a Gent Sara signature kit. I have so many flowers. Lots of my friends ask for cards for their hubbies, brothers, sons, etc. Well, I'm not sure what's coming up, but hopefully maybe something that will work that way will be coming up in the near future. I know they've just been having a planning meeting in January, didn't they? They had one. Yeah. So, and Lois says, so very pretty. Thank you, Jan. It is. I just love that. I love the simplicity of it. You can see why I just love that die. Right. I'm just going to grab all of these from here so that you can see. Oh, there we go. I had to move it out of the way. Now, so to put these in order to go with everything. Now, I haven't got them here, but we've got the paper pad first. That comes in 12 by 12. Next, we've got our flower forming foam. So you're going to get all of the sheets of that. Then next to that is our linen cardstock, which you've seen our Jan using. And then after that is the crepe paper. So that is absolutely perfect for making your flowers. Then on the next row, you've got your happy birthday die. And this is the one that Jan used in that first demo. As we said, 2-layer die, so you can do your matte layer and your detail. Then we've got the next one that you've just seen Jan use, the statement floral bouquet. I mean, just in the black and white, it's beautiful, but I love how Jan did it. And I was so impressed by her fussy cutting 1/8 of an inch around the outside. That blew my mind. Next, we've got, oops, let's go the right way around. We've got our 3D embossing folder. This is absolutely gorgeous. So not only have you got this gorgeous embossing folder, but you've also got the stencils to help you do the colouring. So really useful to have. Then we've got, for our crepe paper, we've created you some stencils. So rather than dies, we've created stencils. You just lay it over your folded crepe paper and cut them out. So we've got carnation, peony, dahlia and rose. But again, I'm looking at straight away and the flower forming in me is thinking, yep, that's going to be absolutely brilliant for using with your foam as well. Then you'll have seen Jan using the sentiments, which is so useful, really usable, really legible, a brilliantly useful section. Timeless Elegance, which is a frame, and again we were talking about landscape or portrait, whichever works for you. And then in the foam flowers, we've designed some dies for you. Now we've designed them with foam in mind, but you just think your papers and anything else that you want to be cutting with. So we've got our chrysanthemum, which is this first one. We've then got our beautiful peony. I do think this is lovely, and I love how somebody's edged this one. This one is actually made out of paper, just to show you it doesn't always have to be foam. And the rose. Then next, we've got our Floral Splendor, which again is another beautiful frame, which I just think will look lovely like that. Then we've got our Intricate Arc and our Classic Baroque. Then we've got 2 more sentiments, the Dearest Friend and the Just For You. Aren't there so much? Then we've got this beautiful die and stamp set. So you're going to create the pretty peonies. And then the consumable elements that you've got left on here are your ribbons, 3 colours, 3 different widths, and also your gems. There's 100 gems on there, so there's plenty to be working with. So whichever colourway you want to go with, it'll work. Now that is the full collection. Oh, I don't even think I've mentioned 6x6 papers and vellums as well. So it is vast, but as we said, then go and have a look, and there are smaller bundles that you are able to get with this as well. And as we said, double points all weekend, so make sure you stock up while you get those bonus deals. Now, Jan is going to hopefully get in another demo, but just so that we don't miss it, we're going to do demo of the show and just put in the 2 that Jan has done so far.
I know, I don't have a finished sample of the third one because obviously that is a wowzer. So yeah, we'll go with these 2, but the third one possibly could be the one. So we'll see. So we started off with those lovely sentiments there, the layered sentiments. We've got the papers, the linen cardstock, and then inside it had that lovely Baroque frame. The only thing I added there was a little circle die cut just to make that first arrow point card there. So that's number 1. And then number 2, we use that lovely edgeable, that statement floral piece along with the papers, the linen cardstock, the sentiments again. You can see how it all works so beautifully together. So number 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Right, so if you can get your votes in, 1 or 2, and Jan will crack on with the next demo. I'm just smiling to myself. Evelyn says, beautiful Jan. Jan, can I take you home to tutor me? Your teaching is so comforting and reassuring.
I would love to. I would love to.
I don't know where Evelyn lives. I don't know. It could be somewhere really exotic.
It could.
Yeah, there. I could hear the rain when you were doing your first demo, so it's not exotic here.
It's not a very good forecast today, is it? Yeah.
Right. Over to you, Jan, and let you show us what you're going to do.
So the last one then, I sort of saved this. It's like, I don't know whether I saved the best. Well, last, I don't know. I particularly was drawn to this because you know how much I love my stamping and colouring. So the Pretty Peonies is the most exquisite stamped element, and then it has 2-part die to cut out either, again, you can make it into an edgeable just by cutting one side of the die or the other side of the die, or by adding them both on, you're going to cut out a whole topper section. So I'll show you what I've done with it. I'm just going to stamp it out so that you can see where we're at. And in there you've got that beautiful stamp, and then you've got 3 sentiments in there as well. And I've used Your Kindness Brighten My Day. I just thought that was a really nice sort of generic one. So I've just popped a piece of our Nina cardstock in here, and I'm just going to stamp it out so that you can see what it looks like. And then I've actually done the colouring because we're not focusing on a colouring show today, and it does take a little while to do the colouring. I've got it ready done. So again, pop it on the stamp plate, whatever you like to use your stamping. You know that my go-to is that magnetic stamping platform, and I use my alcohol marker, so I've got an alcohol proof ink. And again, just to ink it all up, make sure you've got a good coverage on there, whatever your chosen. I've got Flagstone here. This is my sort of go-to, unless I'm working with sort of animals and things, and I sometimes use the brown one. So again, nice even pressure across there, whether you're using a stamping platform, whether you have a rocker block, whether you're using an acrylic block. It's better to stand over it and get that pressure over the top of the stamp. But just look how beautiful they are. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, just this on, I know there's some people like to do what we call clean and simple cards. So just this stamped on the front of a card and then a little bit of pastel colour into it would be beautiful. But what I did with mine, I'll just pop those out of the way. I actually brought in some of my pens, and then I've cut it, and I've just cut this edge. So again, when you pop this in, you can see the whole of that image all the way through there. It fits around the edge beautifully, and it'll just cut from here round to here and leave the rest of it in. Now that's what I wanted. I wanted the bottom section of the card to stay in place. And then I've chosen papers again from that paper pad and from the linen cardstock. And I've actually gone with the red this time. So you can see that we've got the colouring going on. We've got that lovely sentiment. And then again, I've matted it onto the red, and then I use my guillotine to do the straight edges, and then just the little snips to fussy cut and leave that little bit of red edge around the bottom.
That's nice because it almost has two borders, doesn't it? The white border and then the red.
So it really allows it to pop with that white edge around it, yeah. So that was where I'd got to with the stamping. Just pop those to one side. And then the card itself, I was going a bit sort of like, what can I do that's different? So we've got a plain 5 3/4 square card, so that's come out of my A4 cardstock, the multi-purpose card again. I've taken that red is beautiful, and then the red design in there. You know, everything. I love these collections from the point of view it's all been thought through. So this is going to mat on the front, but before I stick that down, I've actually got a piece of acetate. The same size as the card blank, and what I want to do is stick this onto here so that we've got like a loose leaf at the front. So I've just created myself a tab, popped a little bit of double-sided tape, but I've used the red line tape, which I prefer to do with the acetate, and then I'm going to line this up. So that's my open edge. Make sure I get it the right way around.
You've turned that card blank round so many times.
I know, I always have to check because I want the fold at the top this time, yeah? So we're just going to line that up along the top edge there of the card and stick that down. I want to make sure that that's nice and secure. Okay, so the front piece was cut the same size as the card, which is the 5 3/4 square, and then I've just added, I think there's about 1/2 inch to make a tab there. And then when we've got this on here, then I can pop my matten layer and it's going to cover that little bit of acetate where it's stuck down. So again, we'll bring the tape pen in and just matten layer. If you want to take the centre out of the red, you know, if you want to be a bit more frugal with the cardstock, don't be afraid to sort of take that middle out and save it. It comes in handy for smaller projects, matting and layering sentiments, die cutting, things like that. I often do. It depends what the cardstock is. So again, that one's going to stick. So this is the front of the card, but it's going to have this sort of element here that's like a loose leaf. So we've got our card, whoops, at the ready there. Do you know, it doesn't want to open. There we go. Okay. And then we've got this sort of loose acetate layer, and that's the bit that I'm going to attach this one to. So all I'm going to do now is I think I will use a little bit of the red line because that does seem to work best with the acetate. So all I'm going to do is pop a couple of strips.
Was that from an A4, sort of the printable acetate, or was it the construction acetate?
It's actually a piece from an A3 set.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've got some in my drawer, which, now then, I can't remember whether it was ours. It's been there a long time. If it's not ours, it'll be Hunky Dory. We've had their products on the show before. But yeah, it was an A3 one. I was sort of searching through the drawer because I normally buy the A5 packs. And it wasn't quite what I was looking for. So yeah, it was just some that I'd got in my drawer that I've had years and years, and I thought that'll do. That'll fit. So this one's actually going to line up with the matte layer now. So I've got that opening, and then this one's actually going to go over the acetate, but line up with that matte layer on the inside. So there's just a little bit of the acetate showing through the middle there. Okay, so we've got that lovely paper doing its thing, and then we've just got this free element here. And then I've got a piece to go on the inside. When I'm decorating the front, I like to pop another piece to strengthen the inside. It sort of prevents what I call giraffe legs on the cards, especially with a top opener card, where you actually stand it up and it goes and lays flat on the, the surface. So just by adding another layer inside here, and I've just gone around with a little bit of red ink just to link it with. Now you could stamp a sentiment on here. I'm just looking at the time here because I was actually going to take one of these again, the Just For You, and I was going to do a red matte layer and a white. Have we got time to cut that out, do you think? Yeah, let's go for it then. So again, got those two pieces. This works exactly the same as the Happy Birthday that I did at the beginning. So we'll pop that to one side. But you're just doing it the other way now, aren't you? I'm doing it the other way. I'm going to put the red in the background because I'm working, I want to put this inside. So because I'm working onto that white layer, I want to put the red first with the white writing on. So again, what am I looking for? A little bit of tape. And we'll pass these through. Okay. And then that one on the white. So that's going to really pop on those pieces. So again, we pop both of those will fit on there. Normal cutting sandwich, stay there, even though I put some tape on, it's trying to escape. And then in the Baroque frame, as well as the frame, you've got some gorgeous little embellishment elements as well. So I've just cut a couple of the corners in the red there out of the scrap, and we're going to use those as a little decorative element as well. So again, that's going to be my matte layer. I'll sort those out in a second. That's my wording. Whoops, it's been very friendly. And then I'm just going to take, again, if you look round the edge, you've got those little tiny release holes in the edge that will release the cardstock. And again, just take it out gently. And if there is any pieces in there, we can just release those. But this white over the red is really going to be sort of quite striking. It may be that you just want to stamp something inside. You might want to write a greeting inside. You know, there's lots of options for inside your card. But when we pop this one on now, on here, oops, just with that dotty tape pen, and again, just line it up. You've got that lovely border around the edge there. And then I'm going to use the double-sided one to pop that inside my card. So that's going to be the detail that goes right inside in the centre there. So again, just eyeball roughly the centre. Okay. Brilliant. And then the little corners, I'm actually just going to pop on the top of the acetate here. So I'm just going to bring these in as if they're on the floral there, but they're just a little element extra. And I've just popped a little tiny pearl in the centres of those, and they're just going to go on the front just to finish off that design. So you can see there we've got that lovely sort of loose leaf element, but when we stand it, you've got that lovely top fold.
Absolutely gorgeous. Now that might have changed your mind if you had already voted, but it wasn't in the count.
No.
It wasn't in the count. So I can announce that the winner of Demo of the Show is number one.
Number one. Thank you very much. Yep.
I'm not surprised, but I did like number two, but I like the die. But that is absolutely stunning. Thank you, Jan. So Jan has made some beautiful cards. 3 very, very different cards. And I've just sort of picked up the ones that I had here. Again, very different. And this is what Jan was saying. If you decorate the inside as these ones have been done, it really does strengthen up your card, your project. You know, very different. And then Jan's done some different ones again. Right, now we're going to disappear off, and then we're coming back in 2 hours with starter skills. Is there anything you can give us as a sort of little tease, Jan? What can you tease us with for starter skills?
I'm just going to go shake, 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 shake.
There we go.
I'm just going to leave it at that.
That's a perfect tease. That's a perfect tease. Now, thank you, everybody that's joined us. I hope you've enjoyed those. And wherever you are, keep safe. And we will be back with some more inspiration. I love standing here. I can just stand here. I forget that I have to present here while Jan is teaching. And we're going to learn a lot more after that little hint that Jan's given you. So that'll be for another hour at 2 o'clock before we come back with our Second Chance Sunday at 6 p.m. So I hope you've enjoyed the show. Have a good afternoon, and we'll see you in 2 hours. Take care. Bye.